You're listening to Meditation Magick Podcast, a podcast dedicated to exploring spirituality through guided meditation, card readings, magic, the metaphysical, and more. With me, your host, Brad. Hello, listener. Welcome to or welcome back to another episode of Meditation Magick. In this episode, we're going to continue working and talking about the Aries energy, and we're going to be talking about some different magic that you can do to incorporate that fiery Aries energy, specifically looking at candle magic. And we're also going to do a brief tarot reading regarding our meditation, in which we're going to take a look at ourselves and think about what can we kind of cleanse and release, and what are we going to begin to focus on. This is a really simple spread that you can do for yourself, or you can kind of join in on the one that we're going to be doing. Either way, we're going to be doing that brief 2-card pull as well. So this episode, I thought we would start with talking about the more magic ritual side of this chat, in order to kind of get into some ideas that you can do to really bring in or maximize this Aries energy, specifically because next Saturday, so about a week from now, I think, give or take, will be the new moon in Aries, which is great because that is a time to begin to plan and start something, as well as officially shed something that you need to leave in the past that you are no longer looking to take with you. So it's also a cleansing time as well. Now, as I said in the previous episode, that Aries is that passion, that fire, that initiator, and it's a great energy when you want to start something new. So what I thought we would do is we would look at a potential ritual that we could do in order to kind of bring in that aspect of Aries, in the sense that it's starting something new. Or you can kind of spin it to also release and cleanse something away. So fire is great in the sense that it is purifying, it is cleansing, and it kind of sets the groundwork for new things. So what we're going to do is I am going to walk you through this ritual, as I'm kind of doing my own version of it as well. And what we're going to need is a candle. It can be any color. If you are into matching color with your intention, then I would suggest that you take a second to think about what color best matches what you're going to be starting or initiating. If you are doing a release version of this type of spell, then I would recommend thinking about what candle color would match your whatever you're trying to release, or I would pick something like white or even red or black to kind of like release, purify, negate, that kind of thing. I know that red typically is more thought for like passion, but to me, red can also represent that like fiery flame of Aries burning away what you need to get rid of. So really, if you're into that like color symbolism, then by all means, do whatever color you need that you think fits best. But for me, I have, I believe, just a white candle, so I'm going to use white, and I will probably take a ribbon to try and tie in the color a bit. And I guess that is something that I should talk about, is that if you don't have a colored candle and you maybe just have a white candle, find something that has the color that you're looking for. It can be like a ribbon that can be tied around it if it's a glass jar candle. Or you could really even find like a piece of paper that matches the color that you're looking for, and you can place it perhaps under the candle. So if you don't have the color that you need, that doesn't mean game over. It just means that you need to be a little creative and make that work. So once you have your candle, you're going to want to do a brief cleanse just to kind of get rid of any excess energy that might be on it from either people who have touched it or the wax or whatever it may be. And that can either be through like saging. You could do just putting your hands on it and setting the intention that the energy from before is being washed away. If you carefully cover the top of your candle, you could run the candle under moving water, and that also helps to kind of get rid of any previous energy. You could even let it sit on top of salt and let the salt kind of negate or cleanse the energy overnight too. So you have options. But either way, it's always best, I think, to kind of cleanse your candle, because that means you're starting fresh and it's totally your spin, your touch, and nothing else. Once you have cleansed your candle, then I would recommend that you think about gathering a few herbs that kind of connect with that Aries, that fiery energy. And that would be herbs like cinnamon, peppermint, ginger. Again, think like spicy herbs. If you don't have any of these herbs on hand, it's really not a big deal. But I also invite you to be creative. You might have peppermint tea lodged away somewhere in your cupboard. You can definitely cut open the tea bag and use those herbs. By all means, I think that's smart. I think that's crafty and resourceful. So please do that if you can. Now, once you have those herbs, I recommend kind of grinding them up a little bit to turn them more into a powdery substance, if you will. And that kind of helps to bring the herbs together, and it helps to kind of release, in my opinion, the properties of the herbs, as well as kind of release the scent, which I like as well. From there, what you can do is you can take those herbs and set them in a little bit of oil, whether it be olive oil, almond oil, whatever oil you have on hand. You might even take like a few essential oils that you're looking to work with that maybe match the herbs that you're using, and you can kind of mix that together. Ideally, what you're going to try and create is some sort of anointing oil or a mixture that you can rub on your candle that helps to kind of unite the properties of the herbs and bind or adhere them to the candle itself. So once you have that mixed up real nice, you're going to kind of begin to put that mixture of the oil and the herbs onto the candle. And as you do this, I want you to kind of take a hot second and think about that you are infusing this candle with the energy of Aries, and you are inviting the energy of Aries into this candle so that you're bringing in the initiator. You're bringing in that youthful, that new passion, that strength, and you're inviting it to merge with this candle. So after you do that, I would let it sit for a little bit just so that the oil can kind of marinate, I guess. I'll use the word marinate. And just kind of sit, kind of get all nice and mixed up and acquainted, and that's great. So once you have that mixed onto the candle, it's time to think about how you're going to use this energy. Are you going to use it to initiate maybe a goal that you have or something that you're looking to begin? Or are you thinking about using this candle more so to heal in the way that you are going to be releasing something and using that concept of cleansing fire to shed away things that aren't really serving you anymore and things that you don't want to take with you into this next moon phase or this moon cycle or even the rest of the year? Once you have that kind of hammered out, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You could write your goal on a piece of paper. If you don't want it to be visible, you could write it in another language. I recommend Esperanto. Actually, I know it's really weird, but Esperanto is a relatively easy language to pick up, and it's kind of like, for me, a code language where I will write things in Esperanto that I don't want people to see necessarily, but I like it like that. You can also write it in the form of maybe like a rune, or perhaps you can use, the Theban alphabet or like the witch's script. You could write it that way. You could even just do it in the form of like a piece of art if you want to make it more like a sticker style to put it on your candle, if you're using a glass jar candle, obviously. And this works for both kind of initiating or bringing, starting a goal as well as releasing something. You can still put it on the outside on the glass. If you are using a pillar candle, then I recommend that whatever you're doing, you put underneath the candle so that your candle can sit on top of it. Or if you're not into this idea, you can light it on fire, because why not, right? It's Aries energy, it's fire, so why not light it on fire? And basically what you would do is you would do the exact same thing, writing it on a piece of paper, and then as you light the candle, igniting that piece of paper and therein releasing that energy, releasing that thought into the universe or multiverse, whatever you want to call it, and kind of putting it out there, right? So really it's just a way to kind of take that energy that you're working with and manifest it in some way, shape, or form. Now, I chose candle magic. I chose candles because it embraces that aspect of fire, which coincides really well with that Aries energy. Personally, as an Aries, I love fire. Not in maybe a little bit in like a pyromania way, but I love working with candles. I love making candles. I think that visually they're so appealing and there's such a great energy to them, and they are able to take on the energy that you give them. So I really love working with candles and that candle magic, and I think it's a great vessel for magic, especially in a type of magic where you're initiating or starting something, or you're looking to kind of create this like cleanse. It's just a really great all-purpose tool that I highly recommend that you at least try out or look into if you haven't really before, or if you're experienced, then you probably know what I'm talking about. There you have it. Moving away from that magic ritualness, I want to talk to you now about our tarot spread. So the tarot spread I am going to use is going to be really based more so around our meditation. So as I said, it is the new moon in Aries, which is a great time to start something. It's a great time to release something. So I thought I would pull 2 cards and kind of just see what are we going to be releasing and what are we going to be maybe undertaking or working with or starting. This is definitely a pull that you could do on your own before you begin this meditation. And if you don't like to use tarot cards, then you don't have to. You could use Oracle, Angel, you could even use runes. Really, sky's the limit. You could actually just, if you want to, do some self-reflective journaling and come to your own conclusions as well. So I'm going to shuffle up my cards and I'm going to then cut the deck, split it, and go from there. All right. I feel like this is very ASMR-y. I hope someone out there would appreciate that. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to just separate it. So our first card of what are we going to release? Ooh. This is kind of not exactly maybe the way that I was thinking, but I really love this. So this is the Ace of, well, in this deck it's called the Ace of Coins, but it's really the Ace of Pentacles. So in my mind, when I was originally thinking, I was thinking more of release in the terms of like get rid of. But now maybe I'm kind of thinking a little bit differently as I've just flipped this card. And I'm thinking now more so release in the sense of, what am I going to let go and bring to, manifest? So the Ace of Coins or the Ace of Pentacles represents kind of prosperity, opportunity, especially financial opportunity. So the aces typically are that initial spark, but it's up to you to do something with it. So the potential is there and it's a wonderful card. Now, when I say the potential is there, I mean it's like very open-ended in a good way. So it's being offered to you. So in this picture itself, it's literally a hand with a coin. It's saying almost like, here it is. You could take it. It's there for you. So if I was thinking, how am I going to release this? It's kind of like I am going to let this happen. I'm going to release it and I'm going to let it come into fruition. If I want to think even in like a cleansing kind of way, I'm going to release that like thought of like, I don't have enough. I'm going to get rid of that fact of like, maybe perhaps I feel like I'm struggling in a way, especially when it comes to maybe some financial things. It's sometimes best to just let it go and see what the next steps bring, right? So for this, I'm definitely thinking more along the lines of I would release, I'm going to bring about prosperity. I'm going to release prosperity into the universe. I'm going to bring that, send it out, and hopefully it's going to come back in, right? So our second card here, which is the what am I going to be initiating or what am I going to be starting? And okay, so this is the Seven of Swords. Now, I honestly feel like at this point, I would have expected these cards to be flip-flopped because the Seven of Swords represents someone who is willing to do almost anything to get what they want. Sometimes even if that means going to the lengths of perhaps being dishonest or teetering on cheating sometimes. And you know what? All cards bring information, so we are going to we're going to think about it. And, this card, at first, when you look at it, you have to think about that. It means going for what you want. So perhaps this might mean that we are going to be starting to really go for what we think we need. The trick is is knowing when you're doing it in a way that is fair and perhaps in a kind way versus knowing when you are doing something for the sake of just getting it done, cutting the corners, and getting away with it. So to me, this card is saying that this is a time to really go for what you want and to be forthright about it. But at the same time, to bear in mind doing it in a way that is honest and kind of maintains your integrity. So not being that sneaky thief in the night necessarily, but, doing it in a way that is perhaps in everyone's best interest, not just yourself. Ooh, that was a twist. That really was a twist. If those cards were the other way around, that would have been a lot easier to maybe, I would say, read. But, sometimes that's the way tarot works. It's not always the way that you're expecting it to be. And you really have to read into the cards in a way to understand what information they're bringing to you. They're not necessarily trying to give you bad news or make something bad. It's all about taking that information and figure out how to use it. So there you have it. So we are releasing, or we're trying to really manifest, I would say now, that sense of wealth, prosperity, and the fact that it's open to us. And we're trying to start to really go for the things that we want whilst being careful not to maybe overstep in the way of becoming dishonest or cheating the system a little bit. And I think that's a good reminder. I think that's a reminder that we all need, time and time again. It's important to go for what you want, but to also bear in mind that when you go for what you want, that you are not barreling through something in a way that's causing kind of like a collateral damage approach. So yeah, I'm going to leave it with that. And now let's move more so into our meditation portion. So this meditation is going to be using the element of fire, whether you're going to be doing this in your mind's eye and envisioning a fire in the form of maybe like a bonfire, or if you want and you have a candle present, you could also do this with a physical candle and do the meditation in the same way. I'm going to try and leave it a little more open-ended so that you can do it either way. But I'm probably going to be, maybe using some language that's more so speaking towards in your mind, if you will. But still, whatever I'm saying, if you're using a physical candle, I'm hoping that you can use it in a similar way. Maybe not exactly the same way, because we're going to be kind of focusing on that energy of the fire and the warmth. And I'm not suggesting ever, ever, ever that you would stick your hand in an open flame. But you know what I mean. We're doing this in a smart, safe way that I hope that you're really going to enjoy. And we're going to be using the fire as kind of that aspect of Aries energy. And we're going to use it to first cleanse ourselves and prepare ourselves to start anew. And then we're going to kind of bring in that energy to help us launch ourselves or propel ourselves into a new plan, a new goal, whatever it might be. This is a great meditation anytime you're looking to cleanse and start something new, but I think it's going to be really great, especially for this new moon coming up. So with that, find a comfy spot and let's get started. Let's begin this meditation practice by finding a comfortable position. Either sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, or perhaps lying down if that's more comfortable for you. Finding a position that keeps you at your most comfortable while still being able to maintain a straight spine. Begin to soften your gaze, or perhaps fully close your eyes if that's more comfortable for you. And exhale all of the air out of your lungs. And once your lungs are empty, take a gentle inhale through the nose. Hold. And a cleansing exhale. And another inhale through the nose for 4. hold, and an exhale for 8. And one last time, inhale, hold, and exhale. I want you to envision either roots or energy cords forming at the base of your spine and beginning to grow or travel down your legs, through the floor, down the foundation of your home. And these cords or these roots continue to travel deeper and deeper into the earth. And as these cords continue to travel deeper and deeper into the earth, they eventually find a spot and they root themselves. And as these roots or cords begin to expand and spread out in the earth, you begin to draw up that grounding earth energy, bringing this energy up into your body and allowing anything that no longer serves you to travel down those roots or cords to go back to the earth to be recycled. Taking a few breaths here to enjoy that grounding, balancing energy. And now I want you to envision a sphere of protective energy forming and encompassing around your entire body. This energy can be any color, as long as it gives you a sense of protection. Allow this energy to grow and swirl around you, knowing that throughout this meditation, you are safe and protected. And now, either if you have a candle in front of you, or if you're doing this meditation in your mind's eye, I want you to take a moment to either envision or observe a candle in front of you. Taking this time to tune into the energy, observing the flame and the way the flame may move, almost pulsating with life. Begin to cup your hands and scoop the energy around the flame and bring that energy towards yourself. And as you begin to scoop this energy of the Aries flame, repeat this intention. May this Aries fire cleanse me of that which I no longer need. May this Aries fire cleanse me of that which I no longer need. May this Aries fire cleanse me of that which I no longer need. And as you repeat this intention to yourself, continue to scoop that flame energy towards you, bringing in Aries cleansing fire energy and allowing that energy to remove that which no longer serves you, helping you to shed old energy or old emotions that are not serving you anymore. And as you bring in this Aries energy, this fiery energy, you may begin to feel a warmth, a pulsating or vibrational energy. Allow this invigorating energy to restore you back to your perfect state of being. And now that you have cleansed yourself with the Aries fire, place your hands around the flame once more, repeating this new intention. May this Aries flame fill me with the energy I need to pursue my passions, my goals, and my desires. May this Aries flame fill me with the energy I need to pursue my passions, my goals, and my desires. May this Aries flame fill me with the energy I need to pursue my passions, my goals, and my desires. Take a moment to tune in with that new intention. The energy from the flame may begin to feel different. In your mind's eye, you may see the flame take on a different appearance. And now begin to cup your hands once more, bringing that Aries energy into yourself. Filling your body with the Aries energy. And as you bring in this energy, you bring in what you need to help you to pursue your passions, your goals, and your desires. Allowing and welcoming the energy into your body. Perhaps bringing this energy to different parts of your body. And as this energy continues to flow, you yourself may feel the energy pulsating in your body. And if the energy ever begins to become too strong, know that the excess energy can be drained through the cords or the roots that you have created, starting at the base of your spine. And now that you have been filled with the Aries energy, the energy of the initiator, may you be cleansed, and may you have what you need to continue to propel you forward. Take a moment of gratitude here towards your candle, towards the energy it has given you, and for taking this time in this moment for yourself in this meditation practice. And as I count back from 3, begin to bring yourself back to full awareness. Coming back in 3, gently beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. 2, giving yourself a gentle stretch. 1, 1, gently opening your eyes and coming back to awareness. 0. I hope you enjoyed this episode and this meditation practice. As always, you can find me on Instagram, meditation.magick, or you can always send me an email at meditationmagicpodcast@gmail.com. I always love to hear your questions, your comments, your feedback. It's always greatly appreciated. And with that, stay safe, stay well, and until next time.